capital. We are learning that Arvind Kejriwal has filed a fresh plea. This plea is with regards to the extension of his interim bail period by 7 days. So that's the latest request that Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, has actually made to the court, that his interim bail period should be extended by 7 days. We have CNN News 18's Rupashri Nanda joining us on the phone line. Rupashri, a very good morning to you. Please help us put that into perspective for our viewers about this fresh plea that has come in from the Delhi Chief Minister.
The news point is that the Chief Minister has moved the Supreme Court and has asked for an extension of 7 days in his interim bail period. So that should be extended by 7 days. Now, remember, the Supreme Court had actually said that Kejriwal has to be back in judicial custody on the 2nd of June, and when his lawyer Abhishek Manu Singhvi had argued that let him be out at least until counting, the Supreme Court had denied that. Now, Arvind Kejriwal in his plea has said that he has suffered a weight loss of around 7 kg. His ketone levels are very high. He has undergone a medical examination in Max, and those doctors at Max have, according to the Aam Aadmi Party, advised Arvind Kejriwal to go for a PET and CT scan. Now, because of the elections, actually, he has been busy campaigning. So he said that for the just for my medical examination and for these tests, I would need 7 days. So I may be granted an extension of 7 days. Now, it absolutely is dependent on the Supreme Court on whether the Supreme Court believes that Kejriwal's plea has some ground and grants him that extension, or whether it says that your medical examination can be done also when you are in judicial custody. Remember, right now the Chief Minister is in Punjab and campaigning for the Punjab election.
Right, Rupashri, please stay with us just to understand the legal perspective in a better manner. We have our legal correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar joining us on the broadcast as well. Ananya, very good morning to you. Please help us understand the legal perspective of this particular issue. What are the possibilities of the extension period being provided to the Delhi Chief Minister after he has submitted the fresh plea?
Actually, this all seems to be timed very, very perfectly, because almost just a few days are left, only 3 to 4 days are left for the Delhi Chief Minister to actually surrender back in judicial custody. And remember, the Supreme Court, while it was hearing, in fact, the main matter pertaining to the challenge of Arvind Kejriwal's arrest in this particular case, it had made it very, very clear that no kind of extension would be granted, and its order are very, very clear when it comes to Arvind Kejriwal surrendering back on 2nd of June. So it would be unlikely that, the Supreme Court would actually come in and intervene into this particular issue, because remember that this argument has been given to the trial court. This argument has already been given to the High Court as well, and to the Supreme Court as well. But the Supreme Court would be questioning only one thing when it comes to, all of these medical problems are concerned, that if you are so ill, then why are you campaigning for these elections? How are you campaigning in such a heat? And all of these arguments would also be raised by the enforcement directorate in this particular case. So how things pan out is something that we'll have to wait and watch for. But at this particular point of time, it's very, very unlikely that the topmost of the country would be, granting any kind of an extension to the Delhi Chief Minister, because the enforcement directorate, while the matter was being heard earlier as well, had constantly been saying that, some kind of a route would be adopted by the Delhi Chief Minister to extend this particular period of 2nd of June to stay out on bail, or seek some kind of other route to actually stay out of post June 2 as well.
All right, Ananya and Rupashri, please stay with us. We have BJP's RP Singh ji joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. Arvind Kejriwal has requested for the extension of his interim bail period. What are your thoughts about it?
Some ground he wants to stay outside, but fact is, whatever medical test he needs to undergo, there's a proper procedure and protocol for that procedure can be followed, and protocol can be followed for him also. And Delhi government or Delhi jail authorities can ensure that whatever tests required can be done. He doesn't need to be on bail for this.
Right, Mr. RP Singh ji, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18 and putting your perspective across. Would like to thank Rupashri and Ananya also for bringing us all those crucial updates from that story. Right now, shifting